Hi, I'm Shauna, and I teach yoga at the Yoga Center Winnipeg. And this is Yoga Snacks, yoga nourishment for the body, the mind, and the soul. Here we are. I think we're on episode 15, actually. And what I wanted to work with today a little bit is neck and shoulders. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So just start by lining your shoulders up over your hip, your ears over your shoulders. Maybe close your eyes at first just to get an inward sense of your self, of your body in space. Start to let your mind get quiet. And feel your shoulders in particular, kind of a part of the body where we hold a whole lot of tension. When I'm filming this, it's winter and a little bit cold. There's a tendency to hunch, to tighten, and just feel that in your own body. And then open your eyes and bring your hands to your sternum bone here, center of the chest, and even tap it a little bit. Get the sense that you could lift the chest. And feel with your fingers across the top here, collarbones they are, and onto your shoulders, and just open a little. Draw your shoulders back. And then bring your hands so that they come to the top of your head, and press up into your hands so that you soften and relax the back of your neck. And then just release your hands down to your lap. Keep that lift to the head. Notice where your eyes are looking, and start to slowly turn your head from side to side. Continue with the feeling that you're pressing up through the crown of the head, the top of the head. And just move slow. Notice what you feel as you move your head. Sometimes if you're extra lucky, there's little crackly sounds, so you've got a little bit of a soundtrack. But if there's pain, don't push. So you just stop before it's painful. You're just kind of testing your range of motion. And the next time that your head is turned to look to your right, pause. And just, again, lift this sternum, relax your shoulders, glance to the right. And then you can bring your hand onto the top of the head, tuck the chin a little bit down towards the chest. So you're actually dropping your chin towards your armpit. Take a couple of breaths. And then release your right hand, lift your head slowly up, and slowly, slowly turn your head back to center. And now turn to look to the left. And pause, lift up through the top of the head. Relax your shoulders, lift at the sternum. And then release your chin down towards your left side of your chest, towards your left armpit maybe. And bring your left hand beside your head, or onto the back of the head actually. Take a couple breaths, supporting with your hand, maybe just gently adding a little bit of pressure, but no pain, no strain. Then release with your hand, lift your head up. Slowly turn back to center. In center, let's circle the shoulders and actually put your fingers on your shoulders, a couple times back, a couple times forward. A little elbow swimming, forward and back. Great. And then once again, lift through this center of the chest. Relax the tops of the shoulders down. Feel the two sides of the neck. And this time, tip your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then take your right hand to support the head. And again, not about pulling or straining, just support and allow for a gentle stretch into the side of the neck. As you hold here, you can move your right elbow a little bit to guide your head, but slow exploration, just what do you feel here? And sometimes you just notice what feels like what your body really needs, so you stop there. And then you could take this left hand, stretch the arm down to the outside of the chair, maybe even flex your palm, and start to lift your hand just slowly a little bit away from the chair. And then back down. Bring your left hand back to the chair, lap, guide your right arm and head up, and sit. And just feel your breathing, feel what's changed in your neck and shoulders so far, and then time to go to the other side. So start to tip your left ear towards your left shoulder. Relax both shoulders. Feel your breath, and then the left hand coming onto a little bit towards the right side of the head. Again, maybe applying just a gentle pressure, but not a lot. Also supporting the head, and then move your left elbow around slow. Just feel what it's like. Maybe find a place that feels good for you. You can pause there. Take your right arm, stretch it down, and then flex the palm. And maybe explore just some movement with this right hand. Maybe lift the hand a little bit away from the chair. The hand is a little flexed. You'll see by moving the opposite arm, you sometimes get some interesting sensations. And then release your hand, release your other hand, lift your head back up, and here we are. Okay, so we've done this one for sure, a couple of shoulder stretches. So if you have your belt or your tie, that would be great. We'll start with the belt on the left shoulder. And then stand. No, I'm not standing, are you? I'm sitting. Inhale, you could totally do this standing though. Sweep your arms up and reach up. Reach towards the ceiling, open through your hands, your palm stretch, your wrist stretch, your elbow stretch, opening through your shoulders and right through the sides of the waist. Feel your own length and strength. And then take your right hand and reach over towards your left wrist and either lengthen and stay, or lengthen and side bend a little or even a lot to your right. And just stay here. You might play a little, so sometimes just a little bit forward with your left shoulder feels really nice, or just a little bit back. So just see what your body needs today. It's not always the same day to day. And then inhale and come back up. As you exhale, bend your left elbow and take your right hand to hold your left elbow. If possible, make a frame with your arms for your face. Maybe a good opportunity for a little smile. Lifting up through the elbows and resting down into whatever you're sitting on. Keep your left hand where it is. Take your right arm out, reach, and then turn your hand and your arm down. Bend your right elbow and tuck your arm up your back. So you're holding your belt or your scarf. Your hands can walk closer, but it's not necessarily important. Lift the left elbow up towards the ceiling. The right elbow can press back a little bit in space. Take a few breaths here. Then let go with the hands. Put the scarf down and fold forward onto your left forearm. Your right hand can stay behind your back and start to lift your right shoulder away from the floor so that you're getting a twist in your upper body. You can move your right hand down maybe to your hip. And here's a nice place to connect to our head. So imagine you still had your fingertips on your head. Reach up through the crown of the head so the neck lengthens. And then slowly, slow motion, turn your head to look to your right. Just, if there's any pain at all, you stop. And then we're going to come out. So as you inhale, unwind everything. Sit up. Okay, second side. So a belt or a pretty scarf. It's always nice to fix your outfit, especially if you're on TV. Inhale, sweep your arms. Exhale, left hand takes right wrist, lengthen the right side. Side bend, even if it's just a little. So for you, maybe it's more upright. Other people, it might be more forward. And then also explore. Does it help to take your right shoulder forward or back? Stay neutral. Nice. And then inhale and come up. Bend your right elbow and bring your right hand behind your head, maybe onto your back. Your left hand is holding that right elbow and just framing the head. And keep this. Take your left arm, reach it out to the side, palm wide open, and then turn the hand down, bend the elbow, tuck your arm back and up. Couple breaths. Noticing from time to time, where is your head in space? And sometimes it's a very physical reference. Literally keep your head lined over your shoulders. Sometimes it's more metaphoric. If you're lost in thought, come back to the here and now. Okay, and then we're going to let go with the belt, scarf, come forward, rest your forearm on your legs. I've got my legs kind of hugging towards one another. Left hand is going to slide down to about the hip, and left shoulder lifts away from the floor. And notice, where's my head? And press up through the crown of the head, lengthening the two sides of the neck. And only if it feels okay, turn your head. And then inhale to come out, slowly unwind, sitting up. Okay, let's end our chair sequence folding forward. So you can take your feet about chair width, fold forward if it feels okay in your body to just literally hang forward, hang forward. Here you can let your head dangle. And then to come up, press your hands onto your legs. Look up with your head. So eyes look up, press into your hands, and then inhale and come all the way up. Fantastic. Okay, and then stand up, and I think we need a good shake out of everything. Shake, shake, shake. And then using either your chair or I've got blocks today. I'm going to use the blocks. So if you were using the chair, you could have the chair at the front of the mat. Place your hands on the chair. I'm going to grab some blocks. Put the blocks in front of me. And so we'll come to a kneeling position and then step the right leg forward between the hands. If you've got blocks, you can have your hands up onto the blocks. And if you were using the chair, the hands would be on the chair. And just balance here. Sometimes to help be stable, Hugging the hip bones towards one another helps a lot. For some people, putting a pillow or a blanket under the knee, that will be helpful. Then if you feel steady, you can move one hand to your thigh here and the other hand to your sternum. And remember the lifting of the sternum. Maybe take both hands to the sternum, let the sternum open wide. Then take both hands to the top of the head and press up through the top of the head. And then if it feels okay for you to take both arms up, you can have the arms up. If that makes you lightheaded or too heating, dizzy, keep your hands on your hips. Otherwise, arms up, reach up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down to your blocks or your chair. You can put your left hand on the block. So I'm going to put my left hand on a block here, or it can reach forward onto the chair. Right hand comes to the hip. And just like we did in the chair, we're going to start to twist. And you lift the shoulder. Feel where your head is in relationship to your shoulders. If it feels okay, look over your right shoulder, twisting. And then inhale and untwist. Rock the hip back. Place your right knee on the floor. Step your left foot forward. Line the knee up with the ankle. Hands on blocks, something like blocks or a chair. Press a little bit into the top of the right foot and have the sense that the hip bones hug to stabilize here. Then if you feel steady, you can start by bringing your left hand to your leg, maybe tap the sternum a little bit. Then if it feels okay, both arms can reach up. Remember, you can keep your hands on the blocks or hands on the hips as you need. And then preparing to twist, right hand comes down onto the chair or block, left hand onto the hip. Lift the left shoulder as you twist to the right. Can be a little bit forward here. Press up through the crown, top of the back of the head, and look possibly to the left. Inhale, come to center, rock your hip back, take your knee back. Hands can now come to the floor, maybe crawl back a little bit. Let's do just a little bit of cat-cow since we're here. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let the sternum lift forward, look up with your eyes. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin around your back, draw your sternum in towards you, your navel in towards you. Tuck your microphone cord out of sight. And then just a little joke for the person on TV. Back into the cow, and then exhaling, rounding up into the cat. Okay, and then from here, bend the elbows, lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Now as you come down, walk your elbows forward under your shoulders. So if you need gentler, you walk the elbows a little more forward. If not, elbows are right under the shoulders, fingers are spread, and hands pressing. This one's called Sphinx. And here, reach through the upper back of the head, so a little bit towards the back there. Lengthening the back of the neck. Start to slowly turn your head to the right. Slowly back to center. Turn to the left. Slowly back to center. You can press into both hands if you like. Straighten your arms. If that's too much, go back to the other or even have a little rest. Otherwise, let your sternum press forward a little bit. Lift up through the top of the head. And again, slowly turn to the right. Inhale back through the center. Exhale slowly to the left, back to center, and then come all the way down. Rest your head on your hands and turn your head to look to the right. Relax your shoulders, and if it feels okay, you could rest without the hands under the head. This is it turns out to be a gentle neck stretch, so just stay. Then inhale, lift your head. Turn to look to the other side, the left. Rest on the left side of the head. Head can be resting without hands under or hands stacked. To come out, press into your hands. Slowly lift your head, turn the head to center, and then place your hands under your shoulders. Come back, and let's come into downward dog. So curl the toes under, lift your hips, take your feet up pretty wide apart. Fingers are spread, pressing into the palms, opening the backs of the legs. You could also do a chair stretch if downward dog is too much. Hands on the chair and hips stretching back. Stretching through the sides of the body, stretching the backs of the legs. And then walk your feet up towards your hands. Bend your knees. Well, that's not bending the knees. Inhale, come all the way up, and then we're going to sit all the way down. So lower down onto your back. Sit right down. Knees are bent and feet are on the floor. And I've got these blocks. If you had a couple of books, if you don't have yoga blocks, you can use that. Press into your feet, lift your hips, and put the block under your hips. So you could stack some books or stack the blocks so that they're at a height that suits you. And maybe you're getting a little bit of a stretch to the fronts of the hips. And then here, make sure your neck feels nice and comfortable. Shoulders are moving away from the ears. Sternum is moving towards your head. You can even press into your elbows to get a little more lift to your chest. Stay like this. If this feels okay for you, great, stay. If you like, you could experiment with taking your legs and straightening them. Try one at a time. Sometimes it pulls a lot on the hip flexors, so you could always go a lot lower. You can keep your legs a little bit active. That usually keeps your spine a little protected. So for today, let's try that. And then bend your knees. Press your feet into the floor. Lift your hips. Take whatever's out from under there. Slowly lower your back, one vertebrae at a time. Rest your hips. Here, if you've got something to put under your head, put something under your head. So now your head is lifting towards your chest. And you can tuck your knees in and just rock gently from side to side. And we'll finish with one more twisting pose. So place your feet down onto the floor. And then drop your knees over towards your left. As you drop your knees to your left, think of this sternum. Let it be open and wide, and then follow your hand, look to your right arm and stretch your right arm out. You can have something under your head, or maybe now you want to take it out. Just taking a few breaths. And then we're going to inhale, come back up. Drop the knees over towards the right. can always put the block under the knees or even between the knees. And make sure you've got some space on your side. You open the arm out, turn your head and neck to follow the arm. And then inhale, roll back to center. Walk your feet apart, let your knees rest in towards one another. Just resting. From here, you may want to come into Shavasana, stretch your legs one by one, arms roll open, palms face up, and allow yourself a good 5 minutes to just rest and do nothing. Even just resting as the show closes. At this moment, I'm going to sit up. As you rest or as you come to close, just take a moment, maybe hands together at the heart or just mentally bowing towards your heart, just to acknowledge the time that you spent paying attention to body, mind, and spirit. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.